Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome. I'm Joyce Keller, JoyceKeller.com. So happy to have you with us today. I know that the planet is changing in its energy, and amazing things are happening. You can have a very positive energy, or you can have a very negative energy. It's up to you. Let's try to look at the bright side. Things are changing. A lot of people are suffering tremendous losses and change, but there has to always be a positive, bright side, and that's why we're here. So Dr. Scott and I are here for you. We're live. It's currently August 26th, 2020, 3 o'clock in the New York area, and this is important. The sun has moved into the sign of Virgo, and, you know, the moon changes every 2.5 days like that. We're currently in the sign of Sagittarius until tomorrow morning. The moon is in Sagittarius, the sun is in Virgo. So those folks who are interested in astrology can look more deeply into that. I wanted to tell you that because we are live, we will take your calls. If you have calls coming in, good for us. Okay. The number here, if you'd like to join us, please do, 646-200. No, they changed the number again. Hold on. Okay, 516-66, we'll go back to that one. 516-666-8448. 516-666-8448. I'm Joyce Keller. I've written 10 books. I have a website, JoyceKeller.com. I do psychic mediumship work, and I'm here for you. So if you'd like anything, and again, you can call in live while we're on the air for another 29 and a half minutes. And we have, in addition to our wonderful co-host, Dr. Scott, we also have a terrific guest coming up. We have the lovely Jessica Moyes coming up from Salt Beach. She's going to be telling us about that. She's in Palm Beach and Palm Gardens, in Florida. So she's going to be talking about why it's important for you to know about this. And Dr. Scott is going to tell us about what he has coming up tomorrow night, and you can be part of that. We have so many things happening, and it's all good. That's the message here. It's all good. It's time for joy. Yay! Why am I having an applause button or something? Okay. Speaking of time for joy and wonderful things happening on the planet, there are fewer deaths. I mean, the news refuses to admit the fact that things are getting better. So I'm here with Dr. Scott every Wednesday, 3 o'clock, to tell you, yes, things are getting better. The planet's energy is improving. Dr. Scott, do you agree?
Well, first of all, hello, Mom. Thank you for the nice intro. And, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And, you know, each week we talk a little bit about the configurations that are going on. You know, I like to make an analogy about the fact that we're basically going in an upward direction, but in that upward direction, we're going to be hitting some little pitfalls and elevations. And overall, I mean, if we consider what's been the topic of discussion astrologically, which has been this heavy-duty square on alignment with Saturn, which is that horrendous planet of lessons, and being in Capricorn, the sign of skeletal structure, not just for the human body, but on a society level, on a social level, it's the skeletal structure of all our political skeletal system, our tax system, our social system, all kinds. That is being literally degraded as a way of getting it to be rebuilt. And the beauty of that is that Saturn, that planet in Capricorn, is directly in line with the planet of death and transformation, which is Pluto. So this is what we do at my center most of the week. My name is Dr. Scott Keller. I'm a chiropractor and a doctor of natural medicine, but in addition to that, I'm doing a lot of readings for people who seem to be really struggling lately on astrology and Ayurveda, and of course, I'm the offspring of another wonderful intuitive. I'm a second-generation medical intuitive. So if you want to reach out to us, our home base here in Florida is in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale. You can reach us at the office number, which is 631-375-8702. And my personal website is www.ask-drscott. Now, the big news, remember, we always talk about ways to be uplifted through this whole thing. I really like what you said in our Zoom conference, which we do on Fridays, which is, at the end of the day, all these great suggestions of how to balance and mitigate the challenging energies. At the end of the day, it's really just time to have a few laughs and time to make fun of the situation because it is rough out there. Here's the big news that's going on astrologically, and I just kind of really quickly like to throw in our little mission statement about, astrology and Ayurvedic medicine was left to us by the ancient Vedics over 10,000 years ago. It predates all modern medicine, and it's what our current medical model is based on. It was done by these ancient yogis and sages of India at a time that we were much more in tune and cosmically locked in with the universal cord of information. So after 9 years of medical and chiropractic training and 30 years in practice, I tell everybody I get more information from doing a person's individual birth natal chart and their Ayurvedic profile than 30 some odd years of experience and training in the area of medicine and natural medicine. So without further ado, can I go ahead and just tell you 2 quick arrangements that are going on, and you guys can decide what to do with this?
Yes, except for the fact that it's really, really hard to hear you. It sounds like you're on a long tube. But we're doing the best to hang in there with every word that you're saying. Again, I'm Joyce Keller.com. We're speaking with the lovely Dr. Scott Keller, who is available if you'd like to reach him at www.askdrscott.com. Okay, what were you going to say, Scott?
Well, I am really sorry about the reception. I don't know what else to do about it. Can you hear me okay now if I speak up?
Yes, it sounds like you're far away, but that's okay. We can hear you, and we appreciate what you're contributing. So thank you as our co-host, and I wanted to tell you again, folks, welcome. And I have a couple of lines open, and we have a wonderful guest coming up very shortly. But again, if you'd like to join in, you may still be able to. If not, I'll get to you after the show. Don't worry. The guest call-in line is 516-666-8448. Again, it's 666-8448. Okay, give us a jingle. The lines are still open. A couple of lines. Okay, Dr. Scott, what were you saying?
Well, okay, I'm going to try to speak slowly and close to the microphone here. The big news astrologically this week is that Mars continues to square Saturn. Those are the 2 big boys. Mars is the planet of activity and forward movement. Excuse me, really wants to act aggressively and impulsively. And but the problem is it's squaring Saturn, which is in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Saturn generally slows things down because it teaches us lessons. It's like the father who smacks you on the rear end for running out into traffic. You're angry and hate him at that moment, but you realize he's saving your life and teaching you a lesson. It's now even more powerful because it's in its home sign of Capricorn, which causes us to experience frustration with wanting to move forward, with our routine, but that stubborn, regimented Saturn in Capricorn is stopping things. Now, the biggest aspect this week, because they are aligning in this powerful square, we know a square is a very challenging confrontation in astrology.
Wait, excuse me for interrupting. Scott, excuse me for interrupting, but where is Mars now?
Mars is in Aries, in its home sign.
Okay.
Saturn is in Capricorn, in its home sign. So that's one of the things that makes this square. Yeah, this is one of the things that makes this square even more powerful. Excuse me. So, we know that a square is a very...
Let me interrupt. Neither sign, neither Mars in Aries nor Saturn in Capricorn are giving an inch. And they're having confrontation. Okay, go ahead. So we hang in there.
And
go ahead.
In addition to that, they're squaring, and unlike some of the other configurations in astrology, square is very challenging because I liken it to, driving down life's road at 70 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you have to make a sharp right turn. Well, Mars is driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour saying, I'm going forward. I got projects to do. I got transformation to do. I recognize and acknowledge everything that's happened in the universe over these last 6 months during this horrendous configuration with these planets. And all of a sudden, Saturn in Capricorn comes by and says, no, you're not going to drive 70 miles an hour. You're going to make a sharp right turn. And when you make a sharp right turn, everything in the car goes flying, you spin out, and you got to slow down. So what we do as being proactive, fifth-dimensional consciousness as a way of using these tools and understanding how to use them for our advantage, we know to slow down and learn to dot every dot every I and cross every T. Now, this configuring in astrology tends to cause an abrupt confrontation between these two aspects, and those two aspects are, as I said, the aggressive, active Mars fighting with the methodical Saturn in Capricorn, which is asking us to follow rules and maintain the guidelines for our future progress. Remember, Saturn is the father that teaches us the lessons. They can be harsh and annoying, but they help us. Okay, so we're all feeling this very noticeable push-pull effect going on right now, and I'm going to talk about what we do to mitigate this. You know, the great lesson with Saturn and Mars in this slowing down is to exercise patience and perseverance and acknowledgement that this is what's happening. It's not the time to experience the frustration, or at least if you're going to experience frustration, is not to outlet it onto others. Now, I know that we are looking forward to the end of the fall season astrologically, because that's going to mark the end of this horrendous 7-month period we've been in. But September looks to be very challenging because of this configuration. October and November, I'm sad to inform you, is not a heck of a lot better. But one thing I've noticed is that when we open up our consciousness to these corrections, we slide through them much faster. There's also one more configuration I want to just make everybody aware of, and it has to do with love and romance and our relationships. Pardon me. So this very challenging opposition. Now, this is a different configuration. We talked about the square. Now you've got an opposition happening between my favorite planet, Venus, and it's opposing the planet Pluto. Venus is the planet of love and money and all the things that we enjoy, coming into direct opposition with Pluto, the planet of death and transformation. It's just a little bit like Capricorn and Saturn. I'll tell you why. When this configuration happens next week, we quite often see a bit of friction between couples regarding issues of money and any issues that are very large in our lifestyle, like career and home. Now, even though most astrologers are saying it becomes an issue next week, myself and many of my clients I've been working with are feeling this pull already and feeling the friction in the relationship already this week. So those two configurations are things to be acknowledging, to acknowledge. And what do we do about them? Well, we know they're coming, and we take proactive steps. What are those proactive steps? Well, we always talk about doing the 3-breath technique, getting present-minded, doing your meditation. Well, I think that the best thing we can do is to just be an acknowledgement of them and just step back and take a few breaths before we react. So that's what's going on. And did you have any questions about that?
No, but I would like to take, if you don't mind, we'd like to bring our guest on board, if we may, Jessica Moyes, if it's okay with you, from the one and only Salt Suite, which I really am not familiar with, but I'm looking forward to this, in Palm Gardens, Florida. And she's going to tell us about why we need her services. And also I wanted to remind you all about Dr. Scott's Zoom conference Friday night at 5 o'clock.
5 p.m.
5
Right.
p.m. Now, please, Scott, tell us how people can avail themselves of that Zoom conference, which is so important.
Well, we do it every Friday from 5 to 6:15, and basically what we do is instead of the radio show where we're just basically talking and letting you know what's going on, we have an interactive class that I'm thankful that you join with us each week. Jessica, who's coming on from the Salt Suite, is a regular also, and we get a chance to actually talk to folks and see how they're manifesting and going through and experiencing some of these, challenging configurations. It's helpful because we get a chance to hear other people's stories, and we get a chance to do a little bit of, therapy, a little group counseling, which seems to be helpful. So join us tomorrow. If you want to join, Just give me a call or a text at the office number 631-375-8702. And I want to just do a quick intro for Jessica. Jessica,
wait, before you do that, give the Zoom in. Before you do that, please, Scott, give the contact information so people can join in. Because you said it very quickly. At 631.
They need to call. They need to call that phone number because I have to give them a special invitation. Just call or text 631-375-8702. And also,
if they would like to avail themselves of your psychic readings, your astrological services, that's the number to call. Or, of course, it's drscott.com. And your website is drscottkeller.com. Is that the website you're using?
Mm-hmm. I'm using both of them. That's great.
Okay, so you have my website is joycekeller.com. Just because people don't always know who the heck we are. Okay, you were giving an introduction, please, for the lovely Jessica Moyes, if you don't mind.
So
go ahead,
Jessica is a close friend and a client of ours at the center in Fort Lauderdale. She's wonderful. She's been managing the Salt Suite, for a few years now. She's going to tell us all about it. But we're looking forward to doing one of what we're considering to be this COVID-friendly event up in Palm Gardens at the Salt Suite, where we're going to do one of our workshops on astrology and Ayurveda, either for health and or love and romance. And I think it's going to be kind of cool. I think we're going to have a little bit of multiple attractions. People who sign up for the event will be able to participate in the workshop on astrology and Ayurveda, as well as I think we're going to be doing like a little giveaway for a Salt Suite experience. And I just want to welcome Jessica and say Jessica, are you there? Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Jessica, what is a COVID-friendly event, or what's going on? Tell us everything, Jessica. Come on, Jessica.
Everything is well. Yeah. Everything is well, given everything that's going on in the world today. But salt therapy is here. It's absolutely crucial and beneficial, to all of our health, to help, prevent respiratory conditions such as COVID. But ideally, what we do here at the Salt Suite is salt therapy. We have two suites, a children's suite and an adult suite. And we have socially distanced the seats in the adult room and made it nice and comfortable in the family room. It's a 45-minute session where we have a halo generator that grinds the salt finely into the air. And that's what you're breathing in during your session. And by breathing in these tiny particles of salt that's floating around, it helps to cleanse your sinuses. It helps to cleanse your lungs, lower and upper. So it's great if you have allergies, if you have asthma, postnasal drip, sinusitis, COPD. Basically helps to prevent cold and flu from turning into like bronchitis and pneumonia, which normally happens during cold and flu season. And not only this therapy is great for respiratory, but it's also great for your skin. So if you have any eczema, psoriasis, even acne, or just like general anti-aging, salt naturally helps to boost collagen in the skin, kill bacteria, help to heal the skin. And also a perk of doing salt therapy is relaxation. I mean, who could not use relaxation, especially today?
Of course. Okay, I have a question.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in for a second. I can testify to the fact that Jessica has absolutely fantastic skin, and she does.
Really?
She does salt therapy. Yeah, I want to just make mention of something. I'm looking forward to coming up to the Salt Suite this Sunday to meet with the other manager, Sharon. And I've seen the pictures, and it's so cool. It's basically these beautiful, Jessica, you can expand on this, but these beautiful white reclining chairs that are in this like beach of white salt. It's like you're in this haven of whiteness, and then you get the salt that kind of permeates through some vents, and you're breathing it in. Jess, can you tell everybody what are some of the components of what's coming through in the salt? It's not, we know we have lots of 4 different salts, like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and what's actually in there, hon?
Yeah, so the room itself, it's Dead Sea salt. We hand through it on the walls, on the ground, and the halo generator that I mentioned earlier, that's what we pour the salt into the generator. It's basically pharmaceutical grade salt. And while the salt is grinding, for 45 minutes, that's what you're breathing in during your session. And it absolutely helps to clear you out if you're, suffering with respiratory conditions.
May I ask a question, please? Okay, I remember growing up My dad was a pharmacist, and if we had any kind of congestion, he would say, you have one of two choices. Either you can use a saline spray, which of course is salt, and spray that up your nose, which I thought was a terrible idea. And then his second suggestion, which was even worse, was a neti pot. Now, I don't know if you know what that is, but that's where it starts with Ayurvedic medicine, where you have this awful pot, like a pot, and you pour it into one side of your nose and it comes out the other side, and it clears away with saline. So saline goes back so many centuries, and now you're making it really luxurious and beautiful and wonderful, and we're excited, and I can't wait to come over. So, Jessica, tell people if you have a website or contact info.
Yes, absolutely. You can find us on our website, thesaltsuite.com. We are at the Palm Beach Gardens location. We are a franchise, so there are other locations as well throughout South Florida, New Jersey, and upcoming locations coming next year. And our phone number here is 561-316-3105. And can I just say, one 45-minute session is equivalent to being out in the ocean for at least 3-4 days straight. You literally have to live on the ocean to reap this kind of benefit, reap the benefits of this therapy. Yes, where neti pots and saline sprays, they work. They have their purpose, but for most people, it's not effective because you're basically just cleansing the sinuses, where dry halo therapy, salt therapy, helps to cleanse everything from your ear canals, your whole sinus cavities, lower and upper lungs. So it's penetrating deeper into the airways, scrubbing the airways, helping to release, excessive mucus that's hanging out in our airways. So that's how it's just a powerful, powerful treatment.
And
that's really amazing.
Yeah, I want to
absolutely all natural, no side effects. We help people, reduce medications, allergy shots. I mean, it's not a cure, so we can't say it's going to get rid of allergies and asthma, but it gives you a better quality of life, and that's the most important part.
Go ahead, Scott. What were you going to say?
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm at a challenging location here.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
In Ayurvedic medicine, salt therapy is utilized as a way of balancing kapha energy. Kapha is the slow, more methodical type of energy that is prone to certain respiratory conditions. Now, we know that salt has an ability to kind of change the thickness of the mucosal membrane in the lungs, but also not just the lungs, but in the sinuses as well, in the sinus passageways. And, even though I come from the more aggressive type of Ayurvedic body type, I have a small kapha imbalance, which shows up as respiratory issues. Now, we know this is fantastic for boosting the immune system, which is what everybody really wants to talk about these days from a health standpoint. And I'm very, Jess, I wanted to mention, I will see you on Sunday, but I'm excited about coming up there. We don't have the full event kind of laid out just yet, but we're kind of giving a little teaser today by introducing you and introducing the Salt Suite. I think we're going to be talking about maybe doing a collective type of event where we're going to do a workshop on astrology and Ayurveda, as well as maybe getting people some kind of sampling time, maybe 15, 20 minutes in the Salt Suite. I think that's what Sharon and I are going to work on this weekend. What do you think is the minimum? I mean, even though you recommend 45 minutes, do you think people could get benefits from it just from going in for about 15, 20 minutes? Because if you said 45 minutes is like 3 days on the ocean, I imagine 20 minutes would be like a day and a half on the ocean.
Oh, and I forgot to mention it is safe to do at least twice a day. We do have an unlimited membership, for example, for an individual, $99 a month, where you can come every day and do a double session. But ideally, coming in at least 3 times a week minimum, you'll definitely see the best results that way.
Now, cool. So go back to the skin issue. Apparently, Scott thinks you have great skin. I haven't seen you, but I know Scott is very, very discriminating. So tell us about the skin issue. And you mentioned that it releases collagen. Is there residue after the treatment? And does it have to be wiped away? What are we actually talking about?
Yes. So, during your session, fine salt lands on your body. So I always recommend, like, you don't have to shower afterwards. Just leave the salt on you. And for me, I've always had acne. I've always had scarring, oily skin, cystic acne. I mean, I started on Proactive at like 10, 11 years old. It was horrible. Burnt my face. Like, I realized I was allergic to benzoyl peroxide from using that product. But throughout my life, I've used so many different products. And by the way, we carry an amazing Dead Sea skincare line called Mindful Minerals. And this, just using that line and combination of salt therapy for me has absolutely cleared my skin. And Dr. Scott, next time I see you, I promise I will show you a picture, that I have from probably like 19, 20 years old. And you could definitely see a huge difference in my skin just from being here for 5 years. And I'm so grateful to Jamie, she's the owner here at the Salt Suite, and to Melissa and Murad, who created the Mindful Minerals line, and I can't thank them enough.
Okay, again, the number to reach you.
When I said, sorry, go ahead.
I can't wait to.
I wanted to say, if people would like to meet you, do they need to make an appointment, or can they just walk in if they call 516-316-3105? What happens?
Yes, 561-316-3105. So you call this number to schedule your session. Your first visit is half off, so it's $17.50 for your first session. And and from there, we get to know you and basically tell you like coming in for it. But yes, absolutely schedule your sessions. So. Because, again, we're at limited capacity now due to COVID. So we just want to make sure we have your seat and make sure you're nice and comfortable during your session. And we can't wait to meet all of you and, have you here at the Salt Suite experiencing this salt therapy.
I hope you can help. I hope you can help me. I'm coming over. Okay. I'm sorry. I wanted to check.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much. What were you going to say, Scott? Were you going to say something?
No, I think it's important that people realize that if they go to the Salt Suite, this is a relatively, it is COVID-friendly spacing, so they're all staying consistent with that. And when we do our event, that's going to be, you asked us earlier today, what did you mean by a COVID-friendly event? I just think it means that there's going to be an adequate amount of spacing between people, even when we do the lectures. We're trying to, prepare to launch ourselves back into some semblance of our lifestyle, but we do have to maintain, the adequate guidelines for what's going on. So I just wanted to, inform people of that. So anyway, Jessica, thank you. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
We've lost Jessica, but Scott, I wanted to know, I'm sure she's still listening, but I wanted to thank Jessica and tell her that we'll be over soon and that I'm looking forward to having even more radiance than I already have. And Dr. Scott, tell us about your Zoom conference tomorrow night. People are looking. No, Friday night.
I think we're getting ready to close out the show. We have another minute, so I want to sign off. But yes, people are welcome to join the Zoom conference and interact with us. It's all on astrology and Ayurveda and how to use those two ancient sciences as ways to increase and create abundance in all areas of our lives, especially health, love and romance, our relationships. Most importantly these days is karmic and career path as we're experiencing these great challenges. And we want to remind everybody that the way to true empowerment is to remember and recognize yourselves as the gods and goddesses that created everything at the beginning of this experience. It's important for us to keep our eyes open and to understand the great gifts that were given to us as ways to create that abundance. And most importantly, remember that if we created everything through our own pure power as gods and goddesses, we can do anything. And I think we're headed in that very transformative direction as we approach, hopefully, what will be the end of this very challenging cycle towards the end of December and into the new year. During that time, during those challenges, we are here for you. We're here doing many readings for many people, and they are, if nothing else, absolutely nothing short of life-changing and groundbreaking, because the way to mitigate all these challenges is to understand how to navigate through it. Thank you. Yours too.
Thank you very much. And to each and every one of you, God bless us all and keep us. And thank you, Dr. Scott. Thank you, Jessica.
Sure.
Thank you all for being with us. Until next time, God bless us. This is Joyce Keller. Be well.